Alright guys, so we're back on the Injora 2-speed chassis that I've had forever. I think I finally figured out a way I'm going to go ahead and use this in something. So I ordered an axial 27 turn motor. This is a brushed 540. Same thing we're using in the LCG over there, and we've used it quite a bit in some other projects. I picked up a set of links. These are supposed to be 313 millimeter wheelbase for an SCX-10-2. I'm not sure if there's going to be enough in here because SCX-10-2 uses a panhard bar, and on this I'm using the Red Cat Gen 7 axles, which do not have a panhard bar, so I'm going to switch it to a 4-link, but I'm sure I have a link that we can make up that fourth front link. I'll put the link to these in the description. I picked up some cheap plastic bead locks, and I'm gonna run them with these skinny tires. This is kind of gonna be just a trail truck, so I'm not gonna have real wide tires like on the Remo over there. These are gonna be a little bit skinnier. Probably gonna end up running these and this whole chassis on the Jeep Cherokee body that we bought. These are KLR MX or MTX, so I'm sure they'll be fine for trailing. Like I said, this isn't going to be a crazy crawler or anything. I've got the setup for the motor, for the gears and everything, to put the pinion on the front to get the motor mounted. And what I did is I went online and looked up the links for SCX-10-2, and I just put a piece of tape on my table here, marked it from a starting point: 105 millimeters, 114 millimeters, 127 millimeters, and 135.5. And what that is your uppers are 105 millimeters, your rear upper is 127, your front lower is 114, and your rear lower is 135.5. That's your SCX-10-2 measurements for 113 millimeter wheelbase. Doesn't have to be perfect. This isn't rocket science, but that's where we're starting with. I got the kit here. We're going to see how close they are, lay them out, just so at least we know which ones go where to start with, and then if we need to adjust them at all, we can. You know, some skid plates are wider than others, so you just have to have a starting point, and that's just a good reference to start with. So I'm going to get these links put on where I think they need to go. Then we're going to mount the axles. I'm going to get this installed on the new motor, get it installed, and go from there. Alright guys, just wanted to show you not everything always goes as planned. So I bought this kit, and I'm pretty sure that this number on Amazon said it was for 313 millimeter chassis. But I've got it on there now, just the lower links, and I've got that lined up on one, and you come down here and we are just about 13, like 12 and 7/8, so that's closer to like a 330 millimeters. So, you know, but like I said, every plate here can be a different width. It can be wider or narrower. The ball ends are different. Actually, on this particular one, I had to change the ball ends on the middle. I had to change the front ones. These are the ones that came with it, and for whatever reason, it's too wide to go down in there. So I could have just filed away at this ball end or anything like that, but I actually had some different ball ends. So I just took these off and they fit down in there just fine. So that may have affected my length a little bit. But don't worry about that, guys. Go ahead and get your build done. If you know anything about building RCs, you know you're going to do it more than once. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and try to fit the upper links the way I can get my pinions to the right angles. And then if we need to come back later, once we get a body on this, if we need to move our wheels to fit our body, we can always just come in here. Let's see if I can get a little closer. We can always come in here to these links and just cut some of this part here off where the plastic nut is. Let me show you on one of these. You can cut part of this because it's hollow inside up to a point. So you can trim that back 5 millimeters and shorten your wheelbase 5 millimeters on the rear, 5 millimeters on the front. You know, you guys have seen me do it before where I'll take a spacer or a nut and actually make them longer if I need to. So don't get discouraged if you put it together and it's longer than you thought. Go ahead and get everything fit. If you have your body already built, which I do not, mine's still in pieces, but if you have your body already built, go ahead and sit your body on there so you know, yes, I definitely need 313 millimeter, and then just take these bottom ones off, trim them to the length, you know, just trim about 5 mil off, trim 5 mil off the back, try it again, and then once you get your bottom lengths and you know that you're 313 millimeter, then go ahead and start playing with the upper ones. That way you're not doing lowers and uppers and then you have to change everything. Do your lowers first, get the wheelbase you want, and then do your uppers.